A YouTuber I follow for business advice is Hormozi, and in this video I'm going to talk about 3 lessons that I've learned from him that I'm applying it with my life. I'm actually here in Jeju Island, and today we went to this cafe by the ocean and just finished taking out the trash. And little did I know that you have to segregate the trash in like 9 different categories, and they enforce it as well. So just got done doing that, and I wanted to make this video from what I learned from Hormozi, since it seems like he has a cult-like following, and there's some advice that he has that are better than others that stick out to me more. And I like how he seems very practical, very logical, very like down to earth with how he communicates. So that's why I wanted to make this video today. So the first lesson I've learned from him is that to know the business you're in. He talks about how when he did the gym business, he thought he was like in the business of having high quality fitness equipment and services, but then it actually turns out he was in the marketing business, and then he tried to apply that same concept, focus on marketing, to a software company, where he then realized that in software he was actually needed to make a great product, and that's why I'm in the software business. And it helps reinforce my idea that I have to focus on creating great quality software whenever I code for my business. Because before, like, I will get advice from business people who focus on the business aspect of my freelance business, and how I just focus on marketing. But I know that in code, in software technology, is unique, because code, the multiplier effect on great quality is tremendous compared to other businesses, agencies. Because in the gym business, yes, there is some degree of like a gym being better than others, but in code, it's such a multiplier effect of how one software can be significantly better than another software. So it helps me stay rooted as a developer as well, to focus on having great quality code for my business rather than just going ham on marketing and overemphasize the marketing when the quality is important. And he talks about, the product will just kind of sell itself if it's a good quality product in software. The second point that Alex mentions is how in the beginning stages of business is different from once you find like product market fit. He emphasized that once you reach a certain benchmark, then you should be specific in your avatar, in your distribution. But he kind of glosses over the first part, where he briefly mentions that in the first part you have to experiment, you have to get data, and then you can't narrow down yet if you don't get that data. So it really helps me with my business that in the beginning stages it's a lot experimental. You're supposed to change, you're supposed to try to figure things out, you're supposed to say yes more for opportunities rather than being narrow. Because I'll get caught up on like business advice that you should find your niche, specialize in something, and that will make an effect. But I don't think it's very practical early on when you're trying to figure it out. Like, you have to experiment to figure out what you want to specialize in. So that's the second point that you have to experiment in the beginning. And then the last point from Alex that I got is more of a aspirational one, because I was actually inspired how he has this acquisition.com, where he has a portfolio of products, and he utilizes what he the systems he has learned from multiple business, and kind of uses the best of the systems he has with his portfolio products. And that ties into what I'm doing. Like, although I don't have the capital that I could use to buy a portfolio of companies and acquire them, I can create apps from scratch in a wide range of industries, and can have a portfolio of apps. And then I could use the common theme will be the technology, is the coding that I could use throughout them, so I can utilize the technology I know in a wide range of industries. So those are the main things of knowing what business that you're in, and in my case, being the software business, it helps me prioritize on the code, focus on, what's my second point? Focus on experimenting in the early stages, and being okay with like having the goal of having a portfolio of companies rather than just one. And overall, the business advice kind of applies to like signal to noise, because there's a lot of conflicting business advice, like how like in the first one, if you come from, it depends on the context. If you come from certain other industries besides technology, marketing is very important, and quality is only certain. It only matters a little bit, not a little bit. It only matters to some degree, but software matters exponentially, and you're not going to know that if you don't have experience in that field. So for someone in the marketing business trying to give advice to someone in the software business, it's going to be a mismatch. So that's why you gotta figure out the signal from the noise and see what's applicable, and how people have different stages in their business, and you have to realize that narrowing down is good at some level of business, but keeping things broad, saying yes to more, taking raw action is better when you're at another stage of business. So those are the main points that I wanted to talk about today. Thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned for more videos as I talk about coding, web development, entrepreneurship, and traveling.